Hello, everyone. Welcome to COEX Talk. Today, we have a very special guest, a friend of mine from the University of Pennsylvania. She's going to talk about barn swallow nest. And Youqi, I didn't research what this was. I just know, like, I've heard about it, don't know anything about the topic. So, we want to know a little bit more why you got interested, who you are, and introduce yourself.
Okay, cool. Hi everyone. My name is Youqi Fan, and I'm from China. I share the same class with Maria, in last fall, I think, right?
Yes.
Like in fall, and we had a really good time together. We went to farms and hiking and cutting flowers and everything.
No.
Yes. So yeah, and today I'm gonna share with you a program that I did when I did my internship back in China in 2017 and in 2018. So the whole program is about putting an artificial nest for barn swallows in cities because of the change of the structure of the buildings. It's harder for them to find a place to base their nest on. So the whole program is about to help them to make it easier for them to put their nest on a supporting structure. So we did that in Beijing and in 17 cities all over the country. And today I'm gonna share with you how we started and what we do and how it worked. So should I share my screen now or okay, cool. Just one sec. Can you see my slides now?
I think it's loading. There.
Okay. Am I on the whole screen, on the full screen?
You're on the PowerPoint. There.
Okay, cool. And it's the slides now, right? Okay, cool. So today I'm gonna talk about the program, which is called actually, the funny thing is, because of the facts that all my colleagues are Chinese people and no one has lived outside the country, so the name for the program is somehow not that correct, but still you know what they actually mean. It should be migratory birds here, but they put migrating on, so I think it's okay. Okay, so first is the introduction. So in most people's eye, urbanization and nature are in opposition. Especially in developing countries where environmental factors such as biodiversity and wildlife conservation are not given enough consideration when cities expand. The needs of wild animals have not been taken into consideration by urban planners. Even the most basic survival guarantees such as water and food and nesting and safety, such as window kill and roll kill, are sorry, I'm stuck here. Okay, are threatened by the lack of ecological awareness in urban development. Unfortunately, the governments of many countries in the world are gradually improving their understanding of urban biodiversity. And this presentation focuses on Jane Goodall Institute's Welcome Back Migratory Birds project, launched in Beijing, in China in 2017. And will analyzes its strengths and weaknesses. So we focus on raising the public's attention to the living status and providing safer and more stable sites for them to nest in the city. And our target species is barn swallow.
Youqi.
So yes.
Which slide are we in? I'm seeing what.
We should be on a greenish one, like it says welcome back migratory bird.
Good.
Okay, so first I'm gonna talk about the background of this. So due to various problems caused by urbanization, such as noise and light pollution and reduced plant diversity, decreased insect populations, and changes in urban in like what you can see on picture on the slides in urban building structure, the population of barn swallow in Beijing has dropped from around 400,000 in 1951 to 50,000 in 2014. So among these factors, the changes in urban building structure seem to be of the particular concern. The history of the cohabitation of barn swallows and human can be traced back to Stone Age, actually. And to be more precise, it was the cavemen who moved into the barn swallow's home, the caves. And by the agrarian age, barn swallows was completely adopted to share the same roof with human. And the birds, they move out from the caves and build nests attached to human shelters. So since the barn swallows consume huge amounts of winged insects in summer and protect crops and return to people's roofs, they come back after a long migration. So people do not only treat them as a symbol of good luck, but also endow barn swallows with some qualities such as loyalty and protectiveness for family. And the phenomenon, which is similar to primitive worship, has made barn swallow a totem and symbol in many cultures. So on the left-hand side corner, you can see the kite that looks like a barn swallow, and the five dolls here are the totem for the Olympic Games in Beijing in 2008. And actually, if you look closely, the green one is a barn swallow, and so yeah. And however, with the advent of the Industrial Revolution, the style of human architecture quickly became concise, and the facade of the buildings become smooth, like this. And they're no longer they no longer have complex supporting structures, which makes it more harder for barn swallows to stick mud pellets to the wall and build nests. So people's aesthetic have also changed from agriculture and natural ones to the endless pursuit of the cleanness, like the glass and the fancy roofs you see in this picture. Oh, sorry. So the distance between humans and diverse natural elements is getting broader, and thus some bird lovers decided to use this as an entry point to save the barn swallow population in the urban area of Beijing by providing barn swallow with conditions suitable for nesting. So in 2016, a retired female engineer, Dr. Dian, she made several barn swallow nest spaces and put them in the community where she lived, and the occupation rate astonishingly raised as high as 100%. So a year later, Jane Goodall Institute led and founded the project because, well, there is a market for people to put the nest on because people love the bird, and it has a great demand. So the project of, well, welcome back migratory birds includes first, site selection, and second, community involvement, and the third one is nest-based production and implementation. So in this map, I'm going to show you where these nests are actually put. So here, I think you can actually see my pen going on the page right here. So this one is the Forbidden City, and it's now known as the Palace Museum. And this part is an artificial lake, and this is where people put the nest. Can you see my pen moving on the screen, like red ones, like the red marks?
Yes.
Hello?
Yes. Youqi?
Yes.
Okay, cool. Okay, cool. I thought I just blacked out. Okay, the site selection part. So the project. Okay, cool. So it chose a very sensible experimental site. It's called Hohai Lake. It's where the star is. So it is a very populated area in the city center of Beijing, and in the city it's pretty hard to find an area with water and sufficient vegetation and basic barn swallow population. But Hohai is an exception. So the name of Hohai means the back sea. It indicates that someone used to consider the lakes here as a sea. So around 400 years ago, the emperor gave the order of making an artificial lake near the Forbidden City, now known as the Palace Museum, and an artificial mountain was also built with the excavated soil and stone. And the artificial mountain is here, the triangle one.
Okay.
So this is why. So then the people who live in the palace, the royal family, can enjoy the sea view and the mountain view without leaving the city. So although today in Beijing it's a concrete jungle, we say, and its heart is interestingly an oasis. So there are no emperors in the Forbidden City now, and those who now can appreciate the sea views are civilians.
Oh, cool.
So you can see how flat the area is, like in this part, and here is the area where the emperor enjoys the view. But here is like the CBD part, and this one is well, it's the bell tower, the drum tower. So, and this area now has become one of Beijing's famous attraction for the tourists. So to protect the landscape, the government try to limit the height of the buildings in this area, which is another phenomenon in the city. That the center of the city, the heart of Beijing, is very flat, but around it is like a highland. And this is the old houses in this area where all the old school style houses are kept. They're not torn down. So people now, there are still people who live in this traditional two-story or one-story houses, and there are a lot of bucket arc structures, which is like this. This one's here, like this. So they're all under. Thank you. So basically, we have well, this one is called. Sorry, I think I need to write it down. So this kind of bucket arc structures under the eaves and porches, which is very favorable for the nesting of barn swallows. And as the residents here they have been sharing the same roof with the barn swallows since their childhood, well, they still feel close to the birds. So from the perspective of the public education and publicity, choosing this area as the beginning of the project has has very positive effects. The geographical advantages, because it's very close to the museum, and is coupled with the influence of the tourist attractions, makes this project an example of urban wildlife conservation for the whole city.
Youqi, let me ask you something real quick.
Yeah, go ahead.
That birds can bring respiratory problems when they're in houses?
Oh, no. Well, I do think that I just stuck or just blacked out some words. Well, what I said was because this place, the Hohai area, is really close to the tourist attractions. So they can actually show the people who came to visit the city how good this place is.
Okay.
I think I said the word tourist.
No. I'm asking because here, like, I've heard that people just want to keep on removing the birds' nests from their houses because they could transmit respiratory conditions.
Oh, got it. Well,
So I don't know if that's like true for all birds or maybe just some. No?
actually, to be honest, I think it might, because well, they're animals, and also they have feathers and everything, and it's really like natural for them to bring something in, right? Because well, we all do, right? So they're birds, and also I believe some people are pretty allergic to the very light, the very soft fur. No, the feather of the birds, like the ones they have under their real feather, the very soft ones, the ones like the one people used to make jacket.
Oh.
It might be, but we didn't take the factor into consideration when
Okay.
doing this program.
I love this idea, and I don't know why a lot of people are just so skeptical about the nests. I lived in an apartment in San Antonio for a while, and we kept on having nests, and they kept on moving them, and I was just like, why? They're just like little birds. But
Yeah,
there's a lot of people that don't want that to happen because they think that they're gonna get sick from, like, I think they're pee or poop.
I think the problem might be the poops. Well, I do think so.
So that's why I wanted to bring up this question. But okay, we can move forward.
Okay, cool. So then you see how the birds make use of the structures in the building, like on this supporting part.
Mm-hmm.
But now so the major force of community participation was residents and students. So according to Beijing's education policies, most school-age children enroll in school near where they live. So the students also have they also live in Hohai area, and they are familiar with barn swallows. And the primary and secondary schools in the area were among the first to use the nest bases that we gave them to use. And the students, they selected the installation sites and fixed the bases to the wall, and with the guidance of their teachers who had received training materials from Zhenggudao Institute, and observed the subsequent occupation of the bases. And in addition to trying out the bases in schools, the students they also took a look at they also took on this task to spot all the nests they have now and making the maps. Well, the map here is actually made by a girl. I think she's around she's in grade 5, so she's around 11 years old.
Mm-hmm.
And for the elder ones, they made the maps with computer like this. So yeah, and the neighborhood here, they are responsible for distributing the leaflets we give them, and also the brochures and paper cuts of the barn swallows, etc., to residents and visitors. And so here are what we gave them. So here is a little badge that says "Welcome back, migration birds." And these ones are tapes that can be used to decorate your notebook or everything, or whatever you like. And these ones are the leaflets, and these two here are paper cutting. So it teaches you how to paint them, how to use the color you like, and you can make them a string and hang them by the window or on the wall, and just bring some swallows in your house. And this one here is the main material. It's a brochure of 48 pages. So this is what we gave the residents and the students as training materials. So we also held a small exhibition for children who drew the paintings of barn swallows in this area. And in addition to schools and
These are amazing.
and in addition to Yeah, I know. Well, I think all of them are from grade 5 or grade 4, which means they're around 10, 11 years old.
Wow.
I love this one here. So colorful.
Yeah, and the blue one, the one that has a lot of blue.
Right.
Yeah,
The one
the one
All
here.
of them are really
yeah.
cute.
But well, I do wonder why these two look so alike. They look exactly the same. They look
Maybe it
just
was
so
the same
alike.
person that did too.
Yeah, I guess so. Oh, and here, like in on the cloud, it says 4 seasons for swallows. I think it shows how they how they travel. And here, like in the rectangle here, it says the swallows coming back from the north, from the south to the north, and they're now having a spring concert.
Oh, this is so cute.
Yeah, the children, they're, well, oh, and here, look at the cat. And here are the nestlings, the younger birds, and their parents around. Okay, we are gonna move on. Okay, okay, so this one is the real base for the nest. So you see how it is stuck to the wall. It's actually here. So the installation of the net base is the core of the entire program, and it directly benefits the birds. And the Django Institute printed the instructions for the use of the net bases into a manual and made it into a set of tools along with the nest, and mailed it to all the participating individuals and schools around the country. And the design of this base is very clever. It not only provides the bottom support for the true nest, built well, and the true nest will be built by the birds, and but it also allows the user to clearly understand at what height the base should be installed by pushing the back plate, this part, the back plate against the ceiling. So like here, it should be right under the ceiling. The top of the back pallet should be tightly attached to the ceiling to ensure that the distance between the nest and the ceiling is so small that the predators cannot land from above to the nest and pose a threat to the eggs and the nestlings, because here it's so narrow. So like ravens or hectares cannot really hunt or prey on the birds. So actually, well, as you can see in the picture, we don't really need the back parts, like the big part here. But without this part, the people might install the base too low, so that it might not be used by the swallows, because they will judge. They will say, oh, that, well, the spot is too low, so perhaps the raven can come down to the nest and prey on the eggs or the nestlings. And as long as now we have this height here, the height here, it can help people. Well, it tells people how high should the supporting base be installed. So yeah. So I'm so sorry. So I think the highlight of the program is that people are encouraged to think in the way as the bird think. Now I'm going to show you a handbook. It is made by the Wild Bird Society of Japan, and it's actually in English, which is great. So they made barn swallow observation guide for people who want to make a statistic or make an observation on the barn swallows living in their neighborhood. And I would like to show you page 11. It's a form, a table for people to, well, in the front, they put some facts, some fun facts about the barn swallow, about a species. So here we go. This part is the highlights of the whole handbook. So, oh, where's my pen? So first, it tells people how to tell whether the nest is active or in use or abandoned or destroyed. And down here, it encouraged people to ask the residents in the neighborhood if they like swallows or not, like to understand their attitude and their reasons here. And their reasons for not liking the birds. And then the children are encouraged to draw a picture of the nest and to make a observation of what the nest is made of, like the questions here. I will give you some time to read over the questions. I think it's a really good way for children to really know the birds. They not only just see them flying around, but also they really look at what they use to build a nest and like what behaviors do the birds have. And this one is a big blank space for children to draw a map for the barn swallow spots that they see along the streets or in their or at their schools or in their neighborhoods. And this one is a summary sheet. So basically, I think the best part of the sheet here is that it encourages children to put themselves in the position of the swallows, to think as they think, like what I need and what they might need, and what I like and what they might like. It's like, well, like we live in cities, so we need to eat, we need to drink, but we seldom think for the birds, like what they eat or where should they go to get water, and that is why we need fountain and lakes in the city.
Mm-hmm.
So this part is like the summary part to make a more general discussion of what we have and what we think about the barn swallows. And I will share with you the handbook when we finish this presentation.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's really useful. And here is a diary. Is when you really start to look at the barn swallow nest, and you might need to know what they do on daily basis and what behaviors would the barn swallows show when they are sitting on the eggs or when the eggs are hatched, and how the parents feed the nestlings. So this is an example.
Oh, that's cute.
Yeah, I like the way they picture the younger ones.
That's a very good drawing.
Yeah, it is. It is. So this is a map. Well, actually, the Jane Goodall Institute program is also based on this methodology of watching the birds and making the maps and doing the interviews with the residents, whether they like barn swallows or not.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. So then is the follow-up. And actually, the good news is that we installed 15 bases in my neighborhood, and the rate of usage is very high. It has actually reached 100%, which is amazing. Mm-hmm. And you can see how badly birds need places to build a nest. So, and here.
Cool.
Yeah, and these are more statistic figures and data about the species and how they live now? Like in Hong Kong, in Taiwan, and in Europe.
Wow, that's a lot of birds in that image. So I think this topic is really important and relevant, and I think I struggle a little bit because I have so much background in architecture, and one of my biggest problems as a designer is that I have a conservation mindset. So I know that species decline is directly correlated to our built environment, and I think this is an opportunity for designers and urban planners to think, what can we do to bring back? I mean, we're taking the species lands away, you know? So what these kind of simple methods are interesting, because all the impacts that just designing and putting this little I don't know what it's called, the pieces, so that
Base? Yeah.
the base, just putting a simple base can help a species and impact so much. And I think these kinds of projects get more talked when you're in conservation work, but not when you're in design work.
Absolutely.
So
yeah, that's true.
a great opportunity, and that's why I love conservation, because there's all these little simple things that people are already doing and researching. And I think there's a big disconnection between the design world and the conservation world, and they should be together, talking together, working together. So it's so interesting that just a simple base can do so much for our environment. And then also we need to connect more with nature too. As humans, we have forgotten that we're also part of nature, and species, trees, anything that comes from the natural world helps us be more healthy in all kinds of levels. So it's a really interesting project. Thank you so much for sharing your knowledge with us. And I hope that a lot of my architecture design friends see this, because they need to start talking to people that are working in the environment field, especially conservation.
Yeah, and I do think that people now they really have such an obsession for cleanness.
Yeah.
They love things to be clean, to be perfect, to be like the building in Philly, the FMC one, right? Like the tall one is crazy. Look how it blends into the sky when it's sunny.
It's horrible.
It is.
And I worked for that for, it's horrible. And let's not forget to mention like how many birds die because of these kinds of buildings that have so much glare. All the accidents that they also reflect on the city. So there's a lot of accidents involved because of this kind of architecture.
That's true.
So yes.
Well, actually, when we were like in the class or in the world of conservation, we really talk about the animals, and we feel that we feel like they are a part of us. We feel very close to them. But when you really step out from your world and talk to people who are out there, it's so broken. Like the gap is so wide.
It is.
So, well, I think it's really good to have people like you who are the owners, but also pay huge attention to biodiversity. It's wonderful. You guys are the ones who save the world.
We are, Youqi. We need your information.
Well, Maria, I can actually read your lips, but I cannot really hear you.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. I can hear you.
Oh, cool.
Can you hear me?
María, es que te estás congelando.
Sí.
I don't know what to do.
No, it's fine, it's fine. I can hear you now. I can hear you now.
Now? Okay.
Yep, I can hear you.
Sorry, I don't know. It's my
No,
internet
it's fine.
working very well today.
Okay, I noticed that we cannot talk at the same time.
I'll give you time to answer.
Yeah, like now I can hear you because now we're both quiet, but when we both talk and I cannot hear you.
It freezes.
Okay,
I
yeah.
don't know if anyone
better
has
now.
any other questions for Youqi.
Yuki, I do.
Yes.
Hi. I think this program is very, very important for children.
Mhm.
We had a doctor from, I think he lives in New York, and he came to Juarez, Mexico, because we live in the border with Mexico. And he gave us, well, actually, um, he present the program to the university in Juarez, and then we took some children from how do you say, de escasos recursos,
With
Low-
low
the
income.
low income children from Juarez to the university to take this course. And I
Mhm.
think it was very, very helpful. Well, it was not the swallow, but it was
Oh,
the watching bird program. And I think this kind of, it is very, very important for the community, as Maria said.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Thank you very much. Very
thank
interesting.
you. Thank you very much.
And we want to congratulate Youqi on her new job with National Geographic. I knew she was gonna get something.
Wow!
you.
Congratulations!
Congratulations!
Thank
Congratulations!
you so much.
Yes.
Yes, that's incredible. Like seriously, first of all, like creating such a program that actually makes some difference. I'm one of those that kind of has a little bit of a problem with birds, but I still think it is very important to take care of those, like just like we do of insects, anything in that respect, because everything does take part of that world that we're living on, and we are taking that away. So I can't believe that you were part of this program, like because I mean, you look like 12, but I know you're not because you already wear a pen.
Very young.
But you look really, really young, and like just making this type of accomplishments in like such a great way of just like pretty much helping the world as an overall. Because I mean, as you mentioned, they're migrating, they're coming back. It's amazing. And I mean, hopefully you keep sharing any other of the projects that you keep doing. And yes, like congratulations on the new job. It's like so exciting. And seriously, the more that you do, the more that we're here for you, and the more that we
Oh,
want to hear. So yes,
thank
thank you so
you,
much for being
Anna.
here. Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome. Thank you for being here, and thank you for sharing everything and for sharing your new accomplishments. And please keep telling us more about it because we're very interested on it.
Thank you. Definitely will. Thank you very much, sincerely.
Thank you, Youqi. I miss you, and I wish you
Me
good
too.
luck on your way back to China.
Oh, I hope the whole thing just ends very quickly
I know.
and our well, actually I do hope that the life can go back to normal so that the children can come back to schools. Because now well, it's not summer, but still in September or in August, it's really bad for them just to having class at home. It's not like in schools. It's two things.
Mhm.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree.
Okay.
Mhm.
Bye,
Well,
Youqi.
thank you so much.
Thank
Thank
you.
you very much, and
you.
have a great night. Okay.
You too.
You
You
too.
as
Thank
well.
you.